Hello, I am Mac10 and today is March 15th, 2012. Happy Ides of March, happy Thursday, a day that I don't normally make a status update video. I have a horrible sore throat and shouldn't be talking, but my god, we got a release day today. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and a little bit about what it means as far as what we'll see on their website and content rolling out in the coming weeks. And, some interesting notes about the Mists of Pandaria beta. Just basically, this will be my sort of concluding note of the release date today. So the first thing I want to say is that the release date is going to be on May 15th of 2012. This is confirmed for a fact. You can see it on Blizzard's website. You can buy your pre-orders now. I think the collector's edition is pretty much sold out, or you'll be hard-pressed to find a collector's edition. The forums are lit up. Something I want to point out really quickly is that people have sort of forgiven Blizzard. Everything's sort of forgiven. All is well. No one seems to care that they were trolled by their favorite game developer for several months on end, but even I don't care enough not to buy this game. So, moving on to the next order of business. Blizzard has restricted purchasing this game in Latin America and in Russia for 3 weeks after the game comes out. I'm taking this info from Deity's website, his blog, Digital Castration, which will be linked under the video. And basically what this means is people in Russia and people in Latin America will have to go elsewhere to buy the game. And I think they can still buy digital downloads, but either way, they're faced with the fact they have to go someplace more expensive to buy the game. At least I know that's how it is in Russia. Like, they have to go to Europe, because they're playing on European servers, they have to go to Europe to buy the European copy of the game. This is significant because people are like, oh, they're being greedy, they're making Russians buy the more expensive version. No. They're not being greedy in making Russians buy a more expensive version of the game for 3 weeks. What they're doing is preventing people in Europe from buying a Russian copy of the game. Whoa, let me back up. This is a region-free game. This means I can play with Russians on the European server, I can play with Koreans on the Asian server, I can play with people in New Zealand, Australia on the C server. I can play with anyone, anywhere, because this game is completely region-free. It's the first time Blizzard has ever done this, and because of it, even though it's region-free, it's different priced for different regions, which means that if they release the Russian versions and the Latin American versions the same day they release the European, North American, and I'm not sure what other, Asian, your other servers, if they release the Russian and the Latin American at the same time, then people in America would buy the Latin American version if it were cheaper, and the Russian version I know for a fact is cheaper than the European version, so people in Europe would have no qualms about immediately just going and buying the Russian version instead, and then just changing the language. So that's sort of why we're seeing that delay there, and the reason the 3 weeks is because, typically speaking, initial sales booms last for around 3 weeks, and after the 3-week mark they trickle down and sort of they level off until something big happens, like an expansion pack in the case of Diablo III. So I just wanted to touch base on that. Next thing I want to talk about is Mists of Pandaria beta and how this would affect us. Like I said, I said in one of my videos earlier this week that I didn't think we'd get a release date later this week, and if we didn't get a release date later this week, we wouldn't get it for several weeks, because the non-disclosure agreement on Mists of Pandaria expires this coming Monday. So with the non-disclosure agreement expiring this coming Monday, it's sort of imperative that Blizzard release the game, or announce the release of the game now, because if they didn't by the end of this week, they wouldn't do it all next week, because the NDA on Mists of Pandaria expires, meaning all these websites will be flooded by Mists of Pandaria news, and Blizzard does not want this news to dwarf their Diablo release date, and they don't want Diablo to dwarf Mists of Pandaria. God knows they don't want that, because they're only expecting around a third of the revenue, if I understand correctly. So, that's what I have on the Mists of Pandaria beta. Another thing is, we all said for a long time that it had to be announced on a Monday, and I firmly believe for a long time that the game had to be announced on a Monday. And as we all know, today is Thursday, and the game was announced. So this is, I believe, the first time they've announced a release date that wasn't on a Monday since before Warcraft 3. I think that for about the past 10 years, don't hold me to that, but I believe for the past 10 years they've announced every single major release date on a Monday. So this doesn't make any business sense for them. I think this is them just trying to be unpredictable and to prove a point. And April 17th would have been a fine release date as well. I don't know why they moved it back further. They're clearly not developing the game if they've already announced it, because they're burning the fucking DVDs already. So that's what I just wanted to touch on. That's where I just wanted to touch on that. Another thing is, it is 2 months to the day from now, which is the 60 days, and like I said, 45 to 60 days is usually about the range they announce their dates ahead of time, so that falls into that category well, and this is the middle of the second quarter of 2012, May 15th. In fact, it is the dead middle of the second quarter of 2012, so this fits in nicely with their criteria of when they wanted to release the game, and let's hope they don't have any more real money auction house issues, because then well, they're not going to change the release date. I mean, I guess they could, but it would be very unlikely at this point. So the last thing I wanted to touch on is what we're going to be seeing out of their website. We're going to be seeing a lot of new information come out on their website in the coming weeks. Over the next 2 months, I expect us to see floods and floods and floods of information about different acts that aren't in the beta, mainly acts other than the first half of Act 1. So that's sort of what I'm anticipating coming out from there, and that's all I have for you today. I'll be back tomorrow with another status update, and Saturday with another status update. I'm also going to be doing playthroughs of different classes with commentary and uploading them to YouTube, and the first one is going to be a playthrough on the Barbarian, so let me know what you want my second playthrough to be, and I'll probably get the Barbarian playthrough uploaded sometime this weekend. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. And you can follow me on Twitter at MackX10, MackXTen, and if you like my videos, please subscribe and like them. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.